Hey yo, it's the Neil Taylor, aka Queen Puff, senior varsity guard, baby, number 10. Lady Ram, look out for us.
I really want to shine a light and celebrate being a woman. It's such a celebratory thing, and I'm just so glad that like God has given me this gift and put me in this body to do these amazing things. Gestation, I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun as a teenager, but I also like wrestle with very, very large concepts like my identity and what kind of woman I was going to be. Like, you don't just get this version of Nell on accident. Like, I had to fight to be me, like almost every day of middle school and high school, like just being bombarded with images, or you know what I'm saying, this idea of being a different kind of chick or a different kind of girl. And gestation is just that process of growing slowly, being molded slowly. Like, we talk about manhood all the time. Womanhood is a very, very real thing. And gestation is the process of growing into whatever kind of woman you are. And I'm just thankful for all of the women in my life who have walked with me and held my hand and been my friend, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a little different. Now, once you get to know me, like, it's all love. It's very easy to be my friend. But on the outside, you might think I'm a little weird first. So shout out to all of my homies who always been down.
Did you fit in? Were you different? Like, what?
I was just asked, did I fit in growing up? And the answer is a resounding no. I never fit squarely in any place that I've ever been in my life. And specifically as like a young girl, like, it was just hard, man. It was just hard because I genuinely ain't never want to do none of the stuff that the girls was doing. Like, they be like standing around talking, or like they playing with their hair. Like, meanwhile, the boys over here running like 4-court games. Like, they playing football. Like, we playing tag. We on the monkey bars. I just genuinely was not excited about none of the stuff that the girls were doing. So I used to dance in high school, and before y'all run away, before y'all run away with that, like, I used to like pop lock. You know what I'm saying? I used to pop lock and dance in high school. So one of the football games, Elsick versus Hastings football game. No, that's Mr. Anderson. It's crazy. Elsick versus Hastings football game. I mean, this is quintessential like pop locking terrain. The band playing bump, 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 bump. All right, so like, it's like, hey, it's time. It's like all of the moves you've been practicing in the mirror by yourself. It's time. Jarrell Rochelle, I'll never forget. Shout out to Jarrell. We stand up, hey, we start battling. Hey, we going at it. And so we actually not in the bleachers. We outside of the game, like by the concession stand. Crowd getting big, like, it's crazy. Like, this is a dancer's dream. I'm like, oh, I'm about to kill it. Like, and so hey, I start killing it. Hey, but Jarrell can dance, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? I can dance too, but Jarrell can dance. So I go first, you know what I'm saying, on some like ladies first type deal. I go first, kill it. Everybody live. Meanwhile, Luke is like walking up, cause me and Luke at the football game together. You know what I'm saying? Cause I had to take my brother with me, cause I just couldn't be at the football game by myself. So Luke like, hey Neil, Daddy said come on. Luke like, Neil, Daddy said come on. And so I'm like, hey yo, I just can't leave like right in the middle of a battle. Are you kidding me? So like, we still battling. He go a chance. Crowd is going crazier. Like, it's time to rebuttal. And so right before I get ready to rebuttal, I look over and I see my daddy. And I'm like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you gonna try to snatch me right now? He like, hey, let's go. I'm like, but dad, like this is the moment. And so he let me go. I go again. I do my thing. All right, it's time for his rebuttal. Hey, and I hate to even do Jarrell right like this, cause this ain't even this man way of life no more. Jarrell married, believe in God, got a whole wife and kids, but hey, Jarrell do a move where Jarrell do a move where he decapitate my head, right? He decapitate my head, and dang, I can't, I don't even want to say it. He decapitate my head, and he does a lewd act. I'll say it like that. He does a lewd act. And now, obviously, because like I'm a chick, like he a dude, like that's foul, right? But really, in dancing, it ain't really foul. Like it's just, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's fair. My daddy see that move, he say, Linnell, let's go now. Everybody in that crowd turned like, and I had to shamefully walk away. I had to shamefully. So it's like not only did this man do like this is Mortal Kombat, and he might as well have said finisher. He do his move. My daddy is like, nah, we ain't doing that, and yank me. So I took 3 L's. I took the L from dancing. I took the L from like I ain't even really lose. I ain't have a chance to like do my thing back. My daddy done snatched me up. And now, like, you know what I'm saying? People know, hey, don't mess with Nell like that. Like, her daddy is like crazy. Like now I'm the one that got that daddy. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Crump Stadium. Hey, I low key have forgotten about that. So I've said this a number of times that I really didn't know that I could be a music producer, because when I was coming up, like either you played the instrument or like you sang or you rap. So I didn't know making music inside of a computer was a thing. But if I would have just been paying attention to my life, especially in high school, all we did like in the bleachers was sit and create song after song and chant after chant for the basketball games. And this is what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for coaches, teammates, friends, to like just oblige like all of my quirky and like weird little knacks and characteristics, because it's in like these environments that I got comfortable being a creative. Like if I come up with a song and then the homie's like, yeah, that's fire, like let's do it at the next basketball game. Like you can't put a price tag on people supporting you. You can't put a price tag on like just being able to be yourself in an environment. And I don't think like the homies that was around me, like my teammates, I don't think they ever will truly understand how much they are responsible for what like they see as it relates to me, like being a creative, being a music producer or whatever. I don't think they'll ever realize how like responsible they were just by listening to my raps on the back of the bus or doing a little chants that we came up with in the bleachers. Like, that wasn't really a thing before I was in high school. Like, they just wasn't in the stands, like, going hard. But, like, Coach Jay, Coach Simpson, Coach Brotherton, they allowed us to do that. And by them allowing us to do that, they really gave me just the space to be me. All right, we ain't gonna say no names. If you know, you know. I'm gonna do another one. Here we go. Okay, I got one more. Like, those are quintessential. If you know, you know. Hey, growing up with sisters and truly having solid friends has helped me understand that I don't have to be defined by one thing in womanhood. Like, there's not some single event or time or place in my journey or in my process that defines me as a whole entire woman. There's this broad brush about what a chick that plays sports like is and how she thinks and how she relates to the world. But like, women in sports are no different than women in the rest of the world. We're still all of the same different women in the rest of the world. We just play sports. For some reason, out in the world, like femininity or womanhood, you don't necessarily talk about those things in the space of sports, but you got your chicks that make sure they got their pre-wrap headband. I just know you was on there. You was on there, right?
Pre-wrap headband, edges, high ponytail so I can go like this.
like you got your chicks that like care about that, and you got your chicks that are like, hey, let me make sure my sock to shoe ratio. Let me make sure my headband is straight.
Roll up my shorts a little bit.
Let me make sure my shorts aren't rolled that high. Like you have your differences, and I just think that, in general, I just want to take just 2 seconds to like, hey, all of the women that's in the world are the same women that play sports. Like you have variations. Like sports doesn't produce one type of woman. Like
I'm definitely finna dress up.
and so I'll be coming out. I'll be in my hoodie and my shorts. I'll look at them and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go back real quick.
Nails, purse, little eyeliner.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back real quick. But it's fun, man. It's fun. I've always enjoyed learning more about myself as a woman, for sure. One of the biggest things that I want young girls to know is, although it will affect you, the way your life starts is not the way that it has to go, and it's not the way that it has to finish. You can and you will have a life full of love. You can have a life full of accomplishment. You can have confidence. You don't have to be bogged down by insecurity for your entire life. But the truth is, as a woman, you're going to always be walking through something. There was no better situation for me to be in coming back home than to be coaching under the coach that coached me, to be teaching at the school that, the high school that I went to, with some of the same teachers that taught me. Like, this was my dream. Like, and I feel like right into it. Coach J being just the influence that she is and was in my life. I come in here one day and I've been going back and forth about going back to school. And I come in here late. It gotta be 8 o'clock. I'm like, Coach, what you doing still here? She's like, oh, I'm doing some homework. I'm like for one of your kids? Like they got some math homework or something? She was like, nah, I'm doing my homework. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I'm in school getting my master's. Mind you, Coach J is the head coach of a winning basketball program and organization, is a wife, is a mom, and just all of these things. And I just got just my little old self and my little marriage that's only about 6 months to a year old. And in that moment, that's when I decided I was going back to school. So just having somebody like Coach J, just in my proximity while making some of the biggest life decisions I ever have, it's just one of those other things that I can't put a price tag on that. Who knows how that would have went for me if she wasn't there. So, Coach, you were tough.
That's putting it gentle.
I'm putting it real gentle. So, you were tough. I remember, West Side Summer League. So I was in middle school, and you have big draft day in middle school about figuring out where you're gonna go to school at. And I don't know if I got picked for Taylor. Did you know I got picked for Taylor?
How the Lord covers me.
So my sister had graduated from Elsik. Right. My older sister had graduated from Elsik. So everybody going jumping around in middle school, and I was just like, yo, I'm not even tripping, because I know where I'm going. I ain't think twice about it, because I remember watching you in summer league. Uh-huh. And I was trying to do all of the best stuff I knew how to do. And in hindsight, man, I was doing way too much. But I was just trying to show that I can hoop for you. I can come play for you.
My first experience of you was when we had you in first period athletics. And you was this dog in my little freshman, and then
I'm sorry, one more time, Coach. Would you just say that again? And would you look at that camera right there? What'd you say?
You was hooping.
Okay.
You was high-fiving, and you had another teammate. Y'all were just chopping it up on the sideline, we got this. I remember I looked over there and I told my assistant, I said, we're gonna put them in 7th period. I said, they're a little too talented for this group, but we're gonna put them in 7th period. And I remember when we got your schedule changed, and we stuck you in 7th period, and that speed went from 0 to 100. All of a sudden, you was on that sideline with them big eyes, like, let me pay attention, because they yelling at folks when you mess up a drill out here. And I just saw you evolve. I remember I was laughing. I was like, yeah, but you didn't quit.
I remember this toughness and I remember this intensity.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, like you said, Coach, like that will make you fold immediately. Like that will make you like quit immediately. And but I mean, that's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to hoop, so I couldn't quit. So it was just like, okay, let me figure out what Coach J want, how she want it, and then let me try to get it. You know what I'm saying? The best way possible.
My mindset back then was so different. I just came out of college hoops. So I was like, get it done. And I was looking at y'all like, get it done. And it was funny because y'all were built to get it done.
Yes.
And y'all got it done. And I just kept thinking they need to have this heat and pressure because they're young women. They got to understand. They got to make it. They got to stand on their own 2 feet. My mom used to always tell us when we was growing up, every tub stands on its own bottom. And I was like, man, I'm using that for Eric. First, when she used to say, I'd be like, huh? Now I knew.
I remember you saying that.
So I remember when I was looking at all of y'all, we all look like. I'm like, hey, every tub stands on its own bottom. Y'all got to push through and make this happen. This is just a life lesson. You know, the struggle. It's okay to fail forward, struggle, and don't quit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. When I look back sometime at what I put y'all through physically, like just checking your arm, I was like, man, them kids didn't quit. I don't know.
Cause you was wilding. I ain't gonna lie to you. You was
we
wilding.
was out in the heat. When I was looking over there, everybody else talking about heat advisory. I was like, get some water, let's go. So,
That's good though, Coach. What do you feel like was the most challenging thing to like get through to me or get me to understand, or just the most challenging thing about being like my coach / teacher?
I think the most challenging thing with you is, don't take this the wrong way.
Come on, we here now.
You have like this Barney Chuck E. Cheese mentality. You're loyal to the core. You're not really trying to, hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah. And I always felt like you had another level a wolf in you, but you was not going to let it out. And that was, I think, the most challenging thing because I knew you more, it was more, but it wasn't in your personality to be like that. And a part of me was like, even when you work with me, when you went out and you left, to move on and do your next thing, your next level in life, I was nervous for it because I was like, her heart is pure. She's going to be loyal to the core, and people out here are not.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, and you just like with your own kids, you want to protect them from that experience, but sometimes you just got to be bit to find out. And so that was my nervousness about you. And that was my challenge with you. You was that kid. You were like, oh, everything's okay. Good. It's okay. I'm not that wolf. And I just wanted you to be sometimes, because I think in life, with everything, you got to have a balance. You got to have a little wolf in you out here. Yes. And then you got to have, that easy Barney Chuck E. Cheese mentality. Yes. But you got to know when to pull it out, and you got to know who you can deal with that with.
Man, Coach, like you dead on like just the way I'm built. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Whenever in life I have tried to adapt into that wolf for too long of a time period, it is not good for me. It's just not good for me. But at the same time, I'd be lying to you if I say, like, you don't need it. Like you say, you do need it.
And you just gotta stay true to yourself. I feel like if you doing things the right way, and you have the right heart, and you approach it, you'll be covered. So you just gotta stay who you are.
There is no way that 16-year-old Nell envisioned that she was going to come back and pour into young girls the way somebody poured into her. High school is hands down one of the most impactful periods of my life. I've always known it was. When I was in high school, I knew it was. Before I got to high school, I knew it would be. And here post-high school, like it will hands down always be one of the most impactful times in my life. So there's no way that I'm baffled, and I was baffled when I became a teacher and that I had the opportunity to do, what was done for me. And then now, there was no way that teacher Nell, seen this Nell sitting here telling a story about womanhood, telling a story about becoming. I did not see this when I left teaching. Like this ability, like hindsight is such a gift, and I don't know if I would have been able to go and to do the things that I have done had I had the privilege of seeing them before they came to fruition. And just glory to God that he only show us what he needs to show us when we need to see it.